What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So in today's video, I want to show you guys what I believe is honestly the best pistol formation in Madden 22. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So as you guys can see in the title, this particular pistol formation actually has a glitch play that honestly it'll be just about every single coverage that I've faced. Now there's ways to counter it, but there's also ways to counter what they are doing. And I may just make a part 2 where I talk about exactly how to counter this and kind of how to, pretty much play good defense against it, because it is an actual glitch. And I'm excited to bring this to you guys. So now how I found out about this, I actually had somebody run this on me, so I'm not gonna say that I found it by any means, but the person ran it on me, and I seen it was he was in pistol open flex close, and I was like, okay. And then he did a little, which I'm gonna go over as I'm showing you guys the play. But just know I'm not the one who found it, but I actually went in the lab and kind of found a scheme around it to make sense of that. But I'm gonna be showcasing the glitch play first. So as far as personnel, it doesn't matter. I put Taysom Hill in here, and I got Alvin Kamara, but you just want speed at the receiver spot. Now what I recommend, you put your fastest receiver here, and you'll see why that's important here. So either in this spot or this spot, depending on if you want to flip the play or not. Completely up to you, but those are only two preferences I have. Just your faster receivers go here. So Deontay Harris, excuse me, only has 91 speed, so he's going to do just fine. So play we're talking about is honestly this Rpo Flat Wheel, and it is absolutely glitchy. So in part 1, I'll be showing you this play, and I'm also going to be showing you Z-Spot to have just another nice passive concept out of it. And then in part 2, I'll go a little deeper and dive a little deeper inside this pistol open flex playbook, formation, excuse me, if you like this video. So if you enjoyed this video, just drop a like, and that way I'll know, hey, they liked it, and I will put a part 2 out. So that's how I judge if I should put a part 2 out on a formation or not. So like I said, the play is Rpo Flat Wheel, and this play is just honestly just crazy. So let's go into something like nickel 3-3-5, and you said I got safeties and a linebacker here. So let's actually show you against, let's start off with cover 2, and then we'll go man coverage, and we'll go through all that, and I'll show you gameplay of me using this, like I said, in game. So this is what the play looks like. Now, what's so crazy about this play, obviously there's nothing set up because it's auto motion. So one thing to note about this play, you actually can't put nobody on different routes. So I can't take triangle and put them on a streak. I'm trying to do something with them. I can't take square and put them on another post route or a corner route. So everything just stuck like that. So your best bet, just come out here. Now what I like doing to kind of mix up the offense, I like to actually take my cursor, my player selector, I believe it's called, and just select it on him and then motion him, so that way it looks like we're actually motioning him. Now what's crazy about this is that you'll be able to throw that right there, and a lot of times you can actually make that guy miss, as you can tell, and a lot of times you actually will get a one-play touchdown. So I'm gonna run it for you one more time. I'm actually gonna hop into cover 3 next. You tell we are in cover 2, so let's actually go into cover 3, and then after that I'm gonna go into replay, and then I'll show you man coverage, and then I'll talk to you, we'll show you some gameplay after that. So let me kind of show you that it doesn't matter, like they're gonna do the same exact thing. Now in practice mode, they are covering that like glue, because I am in all Madden practice mode, but in game they're not going to cover it nowhere near that. So the reason that this works so good is because it's actually an RPO action. So in the RPO action, if they're not pass committing, that flat defender is going to fly down on the run. As you can tell, he's going to fly down every single time, and you can tell this is a purple right here, so he's supposed to be out here, correct? Now what I'm going to show you is that we can even put him in a hard flat, and he's still actually going to kind of get sucked down. So let's go back to cover 3, and then let's go hard flat right here. And if they are going hard flat, then there's passive concepts that we can do to just counter that. But just to show you, all I did was put them in a hard flat. I didn't pass commit, but as you can tell, it doesn't matter, that we're still able to throw that. And if we can, make that guy miss, we're off to the races basically. So they pretty much have to kind of zone drop to take it away, and they have to put it at the correct depth. They have to kind of do a lot of funky things and kind of change who plays what, and that's how this scheme is going to actually be really good, because we're going to create some nice passive combos off of this simple play. So you're probably thinking, well, what if man coverage, right? Man coverage has to work, right? They have to run with them. Now what's crazy is that the man's responsible for him, he's just going to kind of pull up and get sucked down. As you can tell, like, okay, right there he didn't, but in game mode they're going to kind of turn their back, and it's literally going to be nobody there. So I remember you see my thumbnail, how there was nobody there. That's what it really looks like in game. So there's legit going to be nobody. So I'll probably show you one more time here. Now in practice mode they guard it well, but in game, as you're about to see, they just don't guard it. So what's going to happen, you see how he turned his back? So I just had to hold on for half a second. So if you hold the ball for half a second, that defender will actually turn his back, and then you'll be able to throw a dot, just like I did. And normally it's a one-play touchdown if you don't get user alert, which you hardly will ever get user alert because of the scheme that I'm giving you. We're going to be incorporating the same style of motion. So what I was trying to tell you, if you wait a half a second, so you see how this guy right here is the one responsible for him. You see how he kind of turns his back? That's when you want to throw that ball, and you'll be able to get that easy completion, because for whatever reason, if they don't pass commit, then we're actually gonna be able to throw that right there. And if you notice they're playing it, then that normally means they're pass committing, and at that point I do recommend you run the ball. So that's how I kind of like to incorporate that, or incorporate these other plays I am going to be giving you throughout the scheme. So I'll show you again one more time. So you might be thinking, bro, what they do man with purples, or at least purple to that side, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like too. So we put them in a spot. You can tell we got man with purples. I am going to show you it over the top. Now, I'm not going to pass commit because, you know, it should play it if you pass commit. Because I want to show you just in case, you know, for your opponent not knowing. So let's actually hold on to the ball for half a second. Wait for him to turn. And right there, you can tell the purple did play. So I guess one good way to take it away is put a purple up top, which I'm about to test that out right now. So I actually have not tested out defense for it, but I could just show you the gameplay here in a second. You can tell he's already in a stock purple. So I think you have to re-purple him or something. You might have to play man with purple to kind of take that away. Or if, like I said, I don't want to get into it because I haven't labbed it, so I'm just kind of going off what I'm seeing just now. But after this time, I'll be showing you gameplay for sure. You can tell right there the purple didn't play at that time, but check out this gameplay of me abusing it.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. He's at the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. He gets it complete to Harris. 20, 10, touchdown, Saints.
He was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. Going quickly here to Thomas. The 30, past the 20, touchdown.
So last play I want to give you, excuse me, is going to be the Z spot play. So there's actually two setups that I really love, but I'm only going to show you one gameplay clip. So I may just show you the one setup that I like, show you gameplay me running it, and then at the end I'll just show you, you know, my favorite setup to kind of go along with this little overrated glitch play, is what I'm gonna call it. So for this, you just want to take a circle right here, put them on a streak. You want to take R1, smart route is route just like this. You want to take square, put them on a curl route, and then what you're going to do is just motion this guy over. Now, when you motion him over, I'm going to spot these two just so I can have a little bit of time. But when you motion this guy over, what's going to happen is he's going to get over the top of every single non-zone drop coverage. So cover 3, cover 2, he'll get over the top of all those just because of how deep it's range. You can tell we're able to pass lead that. Look how far we're able to pass lead that up. And now you might be wondering, well, won't they just go user that? So let me go into replay and kind of show you and walking through what the user will be doing. So basically you're just picking on the user. So what you're banking on the fact of is just, you know, this is actually your user, right? So if you're banking on the fact of him being a user, either way, if it's not, we still have dots that I can show you, but he's gonna have to play this. You can tell already he's screwed, right? So we have a curl route that's actually not gonna be covered because we have a flat route that's pulling out the outside defender. So it's forcing that hook curl or vertical hook to play that. So if the user's right here, he's already screwed, right? Now you might be thinking, okay, well, wouldn't have to use the other side, and technically yes, if they wanted to use the other side, they can actually take this concept away. But what you're going to be able to notice is that we actually have another concept that I'm about to give you right after I show you gameplay of where if they want to use this hook curl, we motion that guy over, then we're just going to make them absolutely pay because of the route combo that we're going to have on the field. Now, last thing I wanted to give you is actually my second favorite setup for the Z spot play. Now, in part 2, I'll probably break down my other setup because I have multiple out of here. It depends on what they're running. If they're running zone, if they're running man, I have different things I like to do. But right now, I'm only talking about zone coverage for this setup. Now, the first one will work against man coverage, which I'll show you that real quick. I should have showed you against man. I'll run it real quick just so you can see. So let's say they was trying to play like, you know, just stock man coverage. Reason I like this play is because this post route right here, or the smart route or corner route that we're going to turn to a post is a man beating corner route / post. So what's going to happen is we can put square on a curl route because curl route, will almost always beat man coverage, almost always. So let me kind of show you that. So it's just a 1-2 read. So you're just seeing where the user's going, which most of the time they are going to follow square. I mean, they are going to follow R1, and then you just throw it the square right there. So you just want to make that 1-2 read and just know that normally that should be your best receiver right here regardless. So you'll be able to win that matchup pretty much every single time. So that's how I like to use that particular coverage against particular setup against man coverage. So let me go back to Z spot for you real quick and just show you my other favorite setup. So this one's against zones, right? So for zones, what you want to do, take square, put them on a curl route. No, excuse me, take square, put them on a hitch. Take circle, put them on a curl route, and either A, smart route R1, and then motion over circle and run it that way, or B, take R1 and put them on a hitch. So I like either or, it just depends on what they're doing. So if they're zone dropping a lot, I like this setup right here. But if they're not, then I kind of like the corner route concept. So it just all depends on what they're doing with their defense. But this is by far my favorite setup. So if they're on that right side, they're going to be in trouble. Why? Because you see right there, we actually can have square. But what you also notice is that triangle is actually going to pull. Well, actually, square is going to pull that outside defender, and they're actually going to have nobody defending the outside. So if they're doing like stock zone coverages, we'll have that all day. So again, take square, put them on a hitch, take circle, put them on a curl route just like this. And we can do this setup. Now I'm worried about the right side read in a second. I just want to show you this left side read. So you can see we are in a cover 2. Now I want you to pay attention to that cloud flat. Watch what happens. So what's going to happen is that cloud flat, if it's non-zone drop, even if it is zone drop, doesn't matter. I'll show you both. But what you'll be able to tell is that he just sits there and hovers right there. So you're pretty much guaranteed to get about 5-6 yards at the minimal with this little setup right here. So in a second I will show you what it looked like versus zone drop, so you still can tell. But I do want to show you cover 3 because you might be thinking, well, what if they put a purple? And also if they put a hard flat, then we'll just have square wide open on the hitch route, which I'll show you here in a second. But I still will show you that right side read too. So we got a lot I want to talk about. So take square, put them on the hitch, take circle, put them on a curl route, go ahead and motion them over. And what you're still going to notice is that we are going to have triangle sitting wide open on the sideline. The reason why is because that curl flat defender is going to get sucked down. But if he doesn't, then I should have just waited and hit square. But in game, they normally just sit there. They don't fly down that fast. But let me go ahead and show you real quick, so just so you can see exactly what we're talking about here. So let's go back to Z spot, take square, put them on a hitch, take circle, put them on a curl route just like this. Go ahead and motion them across. Like I said, I still want to get to that backside read. I haven't got there yet. But if you want to, you can just be a little patient, wait for them to fly out there, and then we'll have square right there in that gap. So you're just basically reading the outside defender. So if it's a zone drop, they normally kind of just sit and hover there. But if not, then we're normally going to have square, if that makes sense. So it's just basically a 1-2 read. And this is all because the user is normally going to be on this side, right? Now, but when you face in game, they normally are going to be right here. So why are they going to be right here? Because they're going to want to user cover that little glitch play. That's normally why, you know, I recommend running that Z spot setup that I gave you, because you're going to have a lot of success out of that. So let me kind of show you this right side read real quick. So if you want to be able to read this right side, you just need to do additional adjustments. So we're going to take square. We're still going to put him on a hitch, take circle, put him on a curl route. Now you want to take R1 and actually smart route his route just like this, and then go ahead and motion him over. Now I'm only reading that right side right here. So it's just a basic high-low. So let's say the user was on the other side of the field. So we're basically just reading. You see X is right there in my face. Now hopefully you don't get some bad animation like that, but that's how you're pretty much going to read that. So, you know, you're just seeing where the user is, because we never want to throw it at the user. We just always want to make easy reads. So if I see the user flash to the left, like the user in this guy, you can still actually play around with that too, because they'll have to cover that curl route, and we know that we'll have this open. So like I said, even if the user's on that side with this setup, we're still okay, you know. So if you want to read this right side, it's just a high-low. So basically, you know, you're reading that cornerback stays up top. You know, I should have just been through this, you know. I was just kind of exaggerating it, but yeah, throw that, turn up, get yards. That's basically how you would actually read that. So last thing I do want to show you real quick is actually what happens if they have zone drops on, and I promise that'll be the video. So let's actually go back to pistol right here. Let's actually go to Z spot, and let's turn on zone drops. Like I said, let's just say they wanted to do, I don't know, a 15-5 type of thing, right? So maybe, you know, 15, they decided to do a good job or something, you know. So let's go back to 3-3-5 wide, 3-3-5, and then let's go to something like just cover 2 to start off with. So remember, we got our flats at 5 yards. So let's go and set everything back up real quick. I'm only focused on this left side read. I'm not really going to touch on the right side read. I will smart round just because, but as you can be able to tell, that like we'll still have triangle, because they just don't respect that. Even if I put him at 0, he might slide, but nobody's gonna play 0-yard zone drops. And the reason I'm taking so long with this play is because you want them to run zone. So if they run zone, we're gonna pick them apart. If they run man, we'll pick them apart because of that little glitch play I just showed you. And plus, this is a man beat post route. And like I said in part 2, I'm gonna give you more in-depth plays. So I got y'all. I just want to make sure you guys are good, because you will face zone drop. So that's why I'm spending a lot of time talking about zone drop, because you will face that using this offense, because that's kind of what you have to do to stop the little glitch play, from what I found out. If you don't want to play man with purpose, you've seen it kind of did a fairly good job. So last thing I'll talk about is a left side read or right side read, and I promise you that will be the video. So like I said, it's just, no, come back. Now if you wanted to motion him out the empty, you could, you know, but that's not what I was trying to do. But take this guy and motion him across. Hopefully I can get a little bit of time to show you. Just, you know, make sure you also smart route R1's route too. And like I said, it's just, you know, a read like right there. They didn't zone drop correctly, so, you know, we just throw a dot. So that's basically how you're gonna play that little game with them. And like you said, like you see, it's a really good scheme. You know, it's really solid. And like I said, this is only part one. I haven't touched on none of the run plays, which the run plays are fantastic. They have, you know, inside zone. They got a lot of inside zone where it's to the strong side where we're going to be running the little Blitz play too. So definitely a lot in this playbook. I'm really looking forward to a part two. So drop a like if you did enjoy this video, and let me know in the comments if I over explained it too much or under explained it, or you know, you didn't really follow what I was saying. You know, because I want to be able to work on myself, work on improving my channel, because I understand that, you know, I'm growing too. I'm learning, you know, I'm learning how to communicate with you guys better, learning how to give you guys better setups, you know, better plays, you know, bringing it across easier, you know, if that makes sense. But anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rpo, and I'm out.